All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. This is just going to be a quick impromptu video. I was watching the elder Apostle Gabar. All right, he was doing a video on um, basically death. All right, and it's like, and actually, keeping in mind that that could be all right the fate of some of us, okay, concerning this truth and this ministry. All right, and I just have a couple of scriptures here, all right, that these are basically just things to consider, all right, as well, being in the truth, because we speak about the kingdom and the beautiful aspects of the truth, the sweet, all right, but there also comes the bitter, all right, the extreme bitter, all right, which are the hardships as well, okay, the hardships before getting into the kingdom, all right, such as things like being arrested and being put to death, all right, so on and so forth, being martyrs, okay, because you will have martyrs. Not everybody's gonna get spiritual power and just survive on to the end and see how shy. You're gonna have some who are gonna be put to death for the word's sake. Now we don't know exactly who it is. All right, it could be me, it could be you, it could be whoever who the Lord has chosen. All right, that this is how your story is gonna be told. All right, so these are things you have to meditate upon as well, man, because there's all these different parts of the scriptures, but what happens if all you're meditating on and all you're focused on is this, I'm gonna do this, that, and that, and the Lord says when the time comes, nah, instead you're gonna be one of the martyrs. You're gonna have your head chopped off. You have to keep your mind open that that is a possibility. All right, and you can't say, well, I don't want to do that. I was in the truth because I wanted my story to be the story of getting spiritual power and whatever else comes with it, and then seeing how should I come in the chariots. I don't want to be somebody who gets my head chopped off on a guillotine. That's not up to you. So you have to meditate on all these parts. See, that's why the scriptures say, which I'm gonna get it right now. You basically got to eat the whole roll, man. All right. That means when you meditate on the sweetness, you meditate on the bitter parts of the scriptures too, because it is the bitter parts that will actually make you harder. All right. This is Revelation 10, and I'll start at verse 9. Actually, I'll start at verse 8. It says, "And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth." And that book represents the scriptures. "And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey." Now, obviously, John was not going to take the book and start eating it. All right. This wasn't literal, because papers and a cover does not taste like honey. Okay. But is referring on to what? When he says eat it up, all right, you're basically reading it, all right, and you're digesting it with your mind. Okay. So it says, "And it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey." Because when you first hear this word, or when you first hear the truth, and you hear the different aspects, you're joyous because yes, it tastes like honey. Oh, I'm an Israelite. I'm a son of God, and I'm part of the chosen people of the Lord, and I'm gonna get a kingdom, and all these beautiful parts about it. And it says what? In thy but it shall make thy belly bitter, because when you eat something, the first place it goes through is your mouth, then down your throat, and then it gets to your stomach. So you're gonna experience the sweetness first, but as you continue to digest and the food comes down, that's when you experience the bitterness. So when you first come into the truth, you're not really gonna right off the bat see the bitterness, all right. But over time, it's gonna set in, because that's that food getting to your belly, and it's gonna be bitter, all right. Because then you're gonna see the things of, oh, the Lord isn't coming back. When it isn't, the world isn't gonna end just because I just came into the truth. Now all of a sudden, the 2 days later, Yahushua is coming back. No, then you go through the trial of patience, the trial of error and correcting those errors. Okay, the understanding that, yeah, this is great news, but not everybody that you speak to might think is great news. People might not believe you. All right. They might separate themselves from you. Separation, that's a part of the bitterness. All right. Detaching yourself because you're realizing that if you're attached to the wrong people, or if you're too attached, guess what? When that time comes, it'll hinder you from your sole purpose, which is this serving the Most High. All right. All these different things you got to take into account, being a martyr. All right. Having to die, having to lose your life. All right. For this truth. And it's easier said than done. But when you actually see it, the anticipation starts getting you. These are all things you have to consider. That's why he said it'll be in thy belly bitter, or it'll make thy belly bitter. Verse 10, and I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. Okay. So guess what, man? You have to also keep in mind the bitter parts. That's all a part of it, man. And yeah, we're gonna get a kingdom. Don't get it twisted. We got nothing but just joy coming up. But before that ultimate joy comes the ultimate test. You get the sweet joy after you pass the test. All right. And that's that test of endurance. Okay. So, hey, as a matter of fact, we get Matthew, okay, 26 and 38. All right. This is Matthew chapter 26. And I'll start at verse 36. It says, then cometh Yahushua with them onto a place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the two sons of Zebedee, James and John, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Why? Because he knew his hour had come. All right. Then saith he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me. So Yahushua said what? His soul was exceeding sorrowful, even unto death, man. Okay? Because he was in that hour. All right? Which everybody's gonna have their hour. Okay, yours might be staring at a guillotine, no one's about to come down on your neck. All right? It's a different story when you're in it, when it's live action, okay, than when you're just talking about it. And this is why you have to meditate on it as well. All right? It's not just sweet on, I'm a waltz on into the kingdom. You got to prove yourself. And however means the Lord sees fit for you to do so is how you're going to have to do so. All right? And so even Yahushua, he was exceeding sorrowful unto death. Why? Because he was going through mixed emotions at the time too. Why do you think he went to pray? All right? Because he knew he was going to be put to death, but also the way he was going to be put to death. All right? So losing your life isn't, it isn't something that's easy, okay? But it's something that if the Lord deems necessary, you're gonna have to do it. All right, you're gonna have to man up, show yourselves as men, gird up your loins and do it. But you have to meditate on that, okay? You have to meditate on that. All right, now from here I'm just gonna jump to this last scripture in the Apocrypha. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 7, and I'll start at verse 7. Verse 6, it says, there is also another thing. A city is builded and set upon a broad field and is full of all good things. All right. And what did Yahushua say? He says he go to prepare a place for us. All right. It says the entrance thereof is narrow, and the city in this chapter is representing the kingdom. It says the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water. And the scriptures say what? Wide is the gate that leadeth to destruction, but straight or narrow is roughly paraphrasing the gate that leads to the truth or salvation. All right. Or it says, go ye through the straight gate. All right. Because that's how you're going to get to the kingdom. Verse 8. And only one path, or Salakia, and one only path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one man go there at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he shall never pass, and that's talking about Israel, if he shall never pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? You see? So yes, there's the scriptures are the prophecies. All right, though it goes into the destruction of this place, it also goes into the kingdom and the resurrection of Israel as a whole. All right, us being changed and beautiful, made beautiful, and enjoying actual life. But that's that place that's builded. But we still need to get there. We're on the path. We're on the path. But as we get closer, it gets more narrow. It gets narrower and narrower and narrower. All right. And it might go from where you can walk straight to where you got to now turn to your side to where you might need to balance yourself because it's getting more narrow, meaning it's getting more difficult because you're getting closer to the end. All right. So you have to keep in mind, and that's why you can't burden yourself with certain weights, being entangled with things of this world that'll drag you down, okay? That'll distract you, that'll make you lose your balance and fall. But if you don't go through that path, you ain't go. It's there, but it's there for you. But you need to go get it. You have to go and get it. If you don't cross that path, how are you gonna get it? You know, you're gonna have to work for it. Okay, and that's something that you got, well, all of us got to keep in mind, all right, and meditate on time to time, because it's a very possible reality, man, that you could be a martyr, that you have to give up your life for this truth. But are you willing to? Okay, your answer might be yes now, but who's to say it's going to remain yes at that time? Really, you got to have the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai on you, all right, or else you're not going to be able to withstand. All right. So yeah, I'm pretty much gonna end it here, Lord willing. This was edifying unto the elect. All right, just a quick topic on things that these are part of the things you should meditate on as well. Okay. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Machak Wadash. Until next time, Shalom.